A few quick tips of what I know on jigs, real quick. So this one I have here. This is a jig I got from the store, Walmart. I think it was. It's an ounce. I have a little trailer on here, just a little crawdad. Little flaps like that are good because this little flat side right there, it like that, and he's end up standing up, looking like it's mad. So that one's good for maybe bed fishing, or if you wanted to, you could use this for like flipping and pitching or punching through weeds. There's this one. Ooh, let's see, get all my jigs out. I don't have too many, but there it is. That was awkward. Just looking through there, but alright. I threw that one. That one's mostly for structure or rocks. And these, they go in with like a bluegill pattern, or when the water's not kind of clear, but it's clear. And then we'll go into kind of a different pattern right here. I'm sure y'all have already seen these in Walmart and everything. It's just, if you can listen, it's just a little chatters that you put on there, or little shakers. And I use this one for mostly down deep. You just toss it and go down deep because it's a nice long presentation. I use that one, and it's more of a bluegill pattern. You can see it's kind of like a PB&J with a little bit of sparkle in there. There's those two. Now getting into dirtier water. These two could be used in the same color of water. Now getting into dirtier water, like let's just say that, you know, maybe the wind's blowing pretty bad, or you just had a rainstorm. You want to use a darker color, black and blue, or black and red. Now I have this because when it's sinking, these are going to flutter, and it's going to look kind of like a crawdad. It's just coming down from the surface. And but you want to use this for darker colored water. Now what you would want to do is clear water. You would want to use this one. A little bit murkier water or darker water because it's down deep. You want to use that one. Murky water, like just after a small rain or anything, something like that. And this is a smaller jig because for smaller baths, or just if you want a smaller presentation. But after, you know, let's say you just had like a pretty bad storm and it ruined your plans, and the day after the storm you want to go fishing, then you want to use something like this. It's really black. I actually took a trailer from a black chatterbait and I just put it on there, as you guys can see right there. But you want to use that. And then I have these. This isn't a bottom jig like these ones are. This is a swim jig. I have a little swim bait on the back of there. It's just black, not black, but white, gray, and yellow. You could either use this as a bottom, you can twitch it, make it look like it's injured, or you can burn it. Which burning is just reeling it really fast. For all you beginners, this is kind of the video for beginners. There's that one, and this one, y'all probably all heard of it. It's a chatterbait. I have a white chatterbait. It's kind of like a crankbait, the vibration of a crankbait, the light of a spinnerbait, and a jig, and a swim jig all in one. What you're gonna do is you want to toss this. You can use it like a jig. You can just hop it up and down, or you can burn it. There's those. Okay, now I'm going to get into not retrieval, but tying the knots. We'll go ahead and use this. This is a 3/4 ounce. I'll show you guys. I have 80-pound braid on here, some Power Pro braid on there. Now, you want to put it through the eye, take it and twist it about 4 or 5 times. Make sure all this doesn't get mixed in, all these little hairs don't get mixed in. You want to grab, so this is what I need fingernails for. You want to grab, where'd the tag go? There it is. You want to grab and open that little bottom part up, and take your tag, pull it through one side. Now you should have 2 loops. There's the first one right here. Here's the second one. Then you just want to take and put it through there a second time. Now you want to tighten the bottom down, right down there at the bottom, and then just pull it tight. And then there's your knot. And don't just cut it right now. You want to pull on it a little bit just to make sure it's all nice and tight, where you don't get a big one and the knot end up coming undone. Oof, the ring's getting in the way. So that's the knots I like to personally use. Alright, I'm gonna show you guys off for a second. I'll show you how to retrieve it. Okay. Now on this one, here's my little jig right there, just to say hi. On this, maybe 631. Those are the gear ratios. There's a little I forget what it's even made by. It's so old you can't even read it. But it's a 631 gear ratio. I have an Alpha Shakespeare 6-foot medium action pole right here. It's got a nice bend to it. It can withstand a boat flip if you want to flip a 2-3 pounder. That's the setup I have. That's a setup I've always used for flipping jigs or just throwing them out in a deep water. I always, not 99% of the time, I will use braid with jigs. That's just because you're throwing it into thick stuff usually. You're throwing it into big boulders that are in the water where bass are going to get down into the crevices. You're going to throw it in there, and you don't want it to break off if you have 12-pound line. Now, you're also going to be flipping it into trees and into bushes and stuff, and that monofilament is just going to break. So I always use anywhere from 60 to 80-pound braid. I just got the 80-pound braid because it was, for some reason, cheaper than the 60-pound. So I'm going to shut you guys off again here real quick, and I'll show you guys how I retrieve it and cast it. Okay, guys. Here's what I usually do. I usually take, I'm a tall guy, so just try and keep me in frame here. I usually take, and I usually hit the release button, pull it down to about where my thumb is. And then, since I'm right-handed, I usually use my left hand. And I just let go, and I flip it. And it takes practice. I'm not, a professional, like I said at the beginning of the video. But, I'm pretty good at it. I can flip into trees and little spots and underneath the docks. That's usually how I cast it. If I'd say I'm on a boat and I'm going past a dock, I'll flip right underneath that dock and I'll just bounce it up a few times or something like that. Or since I'm in my room, this would be hard to show. But if I want to like skip underneath the dock, then you'd just like that. You could just low to the ground. Not the ground, but the water as you can, just like you're skipping a stone, but with a jig. And that's what you would want to do. You want to skip a jig underneath it there. It's not really helpful because I'm in my room, so I can't show you guys this stuff. But that's that's usually how I do it. And if I'm just starting out into deeper water, I think everybody knows how to do the overhand cast. But I'm not gonna go over the gears I use and stuff like that just yet. About what gear I keep it on, or what setting I'm gonna drag on, or anything like that. This is just kind of like a beginning video of what I do really with jigs. I'm gonna take and show you guys how I retrieve it, and hopefully I can get some good footage because it's only me recording myself doing this. So I'm going to be right back. Stay tuned. This will be a difficult one. I'm gonna set you guys over here by my door. Just record the ground, just so you can see. I'm gonna flip you guys up. Put that jig up here. Now what I usually do is I usually just pop it. You guys can hear those rattles in there. But I usually just pop it up and down. And then when I have a bunch of slack, I just reel on the slack and just keep going. And then when I know there isn't going to be a bite, I just reel it in. But you can do that, or you can just slowly reel it across the bottom. Or if you wanted to, if you're in deeper water, then you could really, I could make it look like a fleeing bluegill or something, or a fleeing crawdad, and you could just up and down like that. So that's basically what I do with my jigs. Now I think everybody knows what you do with a swim jig. You just make it look like a fish, you know, like you see what the bait fish are doing in the pond, lake, or river, or whatever you're fishing in. You make it look like that. But that's what you really do with a swim bait. But that's pretty much all my time I have right now on my YouTube channel to make a video right now. So until then, I'm out, and good luck fishing out on the water. Stay safe. Catch some hogs.